טוב לכולם, לכל האנשים שהצטרפו אלינו. Good evening everyone. We are very honored to have with us Senior Counsel Leo Torel from the DOG. He's going to receive this year the award for combating anti-Semitism. This is the third year that we are giving this award. The first one to receive it was Douglas Murray, the author, a true fighter for Western civilization. Erin Molan last year, who you know very well. And here we are today. And basically the purpose of this small journalist event is to make sure that you can answer. Maybe I also can add something if you have any questions. So this is for you. Okay, to honor you. This is your evening, and we are very proud and very honored to have you with us. We decided to give you this award because, as we say in Hebrew, we say, Sachkan Neshama. You play with your soul. In your case, this is not a game. It's not a play. You are fighting with your soul, with all your heart. And I think the entire Jewish people and the people here in Israel, we all can feel your heart beating with us. We all can feel how you care, how you fought for the hostages, how you fought against anti-Semitism, how you are fighting against anti-Semitism, and we also can compare because we had two administrations, and we can, have a comparison between the strategy of combating anti-Semitism of the previous administration with having a care organization of the Muslim Brotherhood led by Niad Awad, who celebrated the massacre of October 7th. And the difference, it was such a huge difference with the current DOG, with Pam Bondi, Harmeet Dillon, with yourself, with President Trump, obviously. And what's happening with this administration is quite amazing. And I think that this is how you fight anti-Semitism. So this award is for you and also for the Trump administration, but especially for you, because you are truly a unique man, a unique leader, and we are all very excited at this moment. Obviously, this is a very special day for us in Israel. 2 hours ago, I'm sure you heard the news. We have Rank Vili, the last hostages. He also a true warrior who went to fight when he was with a broken arm, fought until the last bullet in nearby Kibbutz Halumim. And this is really a moving moment for all of us in Israel. Baruch Hashem, that we are finished with this nightmare.
Well, first of all, I don't know if this works. Testing, can you hear me? Okay, first of all, I want to thank you. We have developed a friendship and a relationship, and I think it's important to understand that this award is something that comes from the heart. I accept it from the heart, and my commitment to fighting anti-Semitism is not because I'm in this position. And I know that's one thing about the Israelis and the Jewish Americans and the Jewish people I've encountered. All of it's from the heart. And let me just say this. This is my first trip to Israel. It's been unbelievable. Everyone should visit Israel and Jerusalem. I've been spending the last 2 days walking maybe 50 miles, walking every place on the planet. But I want people to understand, if you have not met me before, if you haven't seen what I've done working on anti-Semitism, I have been a civil rights attorney for 35 years. For 35 years. That's all I've done. And some of you may have known that I work for Fox News. The president called me and asked me to leave Fox and to serve our country. I said yes. The president asked me to work in the Department of Justice. I said yes. The president asked me to serve as head of the DOJ task force to combat anti-Semitism. And I said yes. And I am proud to serve that role. I want to be very clear. Fighting anti-Semitism is not a Jewish issue. It's not an American issue. It's a Western civilization issue. It is unbelievable to see this type of hate in 2026. And President Trump has made it very clear, use every tool in the toolbox to fight it. Now, we have not eliminated it. I will explain that in my acceptance speech. But I will simply tell you this. It is a 24/7 commitment on my part and on this administration's part. And I will tell you this, that we will fight anti-Semitism if it's on the left or if it's on the right. This president is committed, he has demonstrated it, and he has told me, Pam Bondi, and others, fight it. I want to make sure you understand one other factor. Why me? I'm not Jewish. It's not a question of being Jewish or non-Jewish. It's a question of what is right. But besides being a lawyer, I'm a history teacher. And I know the history of the Jewish community with black Americans. I know that the Jewish community helped create the NAACP, 1909. I'm also familiar and well aware that Jewish Americans walked with black Americans in the 60s when we were fighting for our civil rights, the right to go to school without being harassed. And more importantly, I'm also aware that two Jewish activists, Swerner and Gutman, in 1964 in Mississippi, were murdered helping black Americans get their rights. I am committed to fighting anti-Semitism for the rest of my life. My commitment to this fight goes well beyond my term in office. It is a lifetime commitment. And it is something that I take pleasure in, and I wish I didn't have to do it, but it is necessary. So I just wanted to make that opening statement. And again, thank all of you for being here and participating in this historic event. I'm lucky to sit in this chair, to be commissioned by the president to serve this job and to work with Pam Bondi. So thank you, Mr. Minister.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions for the two A team members? We're the A team here.
Who's Max?
Well, I'll tell you right now, and that's an excellent question. Let me explain this. President Trump doesn't see color. He sees qualified people. If you know anything about President Trump, he wants results. President Trump picked me because I was the most qualified person to handle this. I said this, 35 years as a civil rights attorney. And by the way, this fight that I've had against anti-Semitism, check my background. I've been fighting this well before I took this job. Check what I said on Fox. Check what I said on a local radio show for the last 20 years. It is significant because it tells those individuals who look the other way towards anti-Semitism, this president will take action on the federal level. You see, the problem with anti-Semitism is very simple. There's no truth to it. It's been manipulated, and it's turned out to be something very popular to do. And it's well-financed. And it has corporate sponsors. I don't want to mention their names because I don't want to embarrass them. New York Times, CNN, Washington Post, they never tell the truth about the fight against anti-Semitism. They never told the truth about the war. So it is our job to make sure the truth gets out and to use every weapon in the toolbox. File hate crime charges. That last administration, I don't want to make this political, there was no hate crime charges filed on the local level. Make sure that the curriculum does not have anti-Semitic curriculum materials for K-12. The haters are targeting our K-12 kids. That's what's important right now.
Nothing.
I'm sorry.
Nati.
You pick. Okay.
No, they're asking you.
So I live in Paris, and I wonder what tips or advice or any pointers would you give to countries like France, like the UK,
Yeah.
and Australia, which seem to be struggling to deal with the current data?
Well, glad you asked that question. Let me be very clear. France, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia should be ashamed of themselves. Allowing anti-Semitism to exist, looking the other way, somehow justifying it by inaction is offensive to me, offensive to the president, offensive to everything great about America. Now, don't get me wrong, we have our skeletons in our closet, but we're doing something. We're taking action. The relationship between this country, the state of Israel, and America on the issue of fighting anti-Semitism is solid. There is a unique relationship between the prime minister and the president. And I'll steal the phrase by Prime Minister Netanyahu. Israel has had no better friend in the White House than President Donald J. Trump. But to call of your question, France should be embarrassed. UK should be embarrassed. Australia, we know what happened a couple of weeks ago, should be embarrassed, and Canada's the same way.
I think that if we can form the right coalition to combat anti-Semitism, and if we can work together, just like we are doing here in this conference, to bring together all the relevant people to the fight, and also to allocate the resources, and also to be very decisive on the actions, and to have real consequences for incitement, the decision to deport Mahmoud Khalil, which we wish him a safe flight back to Algeria. That's how you fight anti-Semitism. And when you are bringing organizations like CARE to fight anti-Semitism and also Islamophobia, and there's zero action on the ground, so obviously that's not a strategy that can succeed. Therefore, I think that if we will see more states following the kind of decision-making and that we see in America, and it's not just the deportation of the leaders of these demonstration, pro-Hamas, violent demonstrations. This is also the fees against universities who failed their Jewish students. This is also to go and check the financial channels in which money from Qatar is pouring into universities, into K-12 schools, and to make sure that this FARA violation, incitement is being taken care of. So I think Europe can learn a lot from what's happening right now in America, and also in Europe there are different states. Germany is quite a good example with a very strict laws against genocidal calls like from the river to the sea and all these kind of activities. So even in places where you have a lot of immigrants, and it's a whole different story from the US, you can see, let's say, relevant and effective ways to combat anti-Semitism. There is more than one way.
I just want to make sure, when you said the train has already left the station, I hope you're not saying that as far as America, because we're fighting it. We're filing hate crime charges. We're taking money away from those universities. We have a Secretary of State that's telling those anti-Semitic students who don't have a citizenship or a green card, goodbye. We're taking action. And I will submit to you that we got a lot to do, but that train has not left the station with Donald J. Trump in the White House, Pam Bondi, and yours truly. No way. As I said to you, we work on this every day. I have no other job but to fight anti-Semitism, 24/7. Train is still in the train station. Well, let me let me answer that question by not focusing on one person, okay? And I'll tell you how we're fighting it. Because you can mention that guy, and I can mention Mark Levin, I can mention the actions of the president. Because that guy has had no impact on the actions of President Donald J. Trump, zero. I know that for a fact. And I say that because of my personal relationship with the president. When I have issues involving anti-Semitism, regardless of the noise, and I grant you there is noise on the right and left, but the question I would counter to you is, has that impacted, has that changed Trump's commitment to anti-Semitism, fighting anti-Semitism? No. Has it changed Trump's attitude towards being the best friend Israel ever had? No. And if Trump had deviated from his course of action, I wouldn't be in this chair right now. I will sit here and tell you without disclosing confidential evidence or information. The president has given me a green light to call him, and you know he doesn't sleep. Call him anytime when it comes to anti-Semitic misconduct. And when it came to some of these settlement agreements on the college campuses, I burned up his phone calling, we cannot accept this. Okay, we cannot accept this. Okay. So, you know, the greatest thing about America is people have the right to express their ideas. And you have that type of anti-Semitic conduct on the left and right. But it's not impacting this administration. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Sorry, Robert Garson, a lawyer for President Trump, he said that he was planning a proposal to give asylum to British Jews to the United States. Is this a serious proposal?
Well, let me first of all, you know, as a lawyer, you know, your question sets up several assumptions, but I will simply say this. I will never get ahead of the president. So the rumor or the talk from this one counsel, let the president speak. The president has no problem speaking for himself, and he will speak for himself on that particular issue. So I think it would be wrong for me to make any comment on that, but I will simply say this. This president is the most proactive president fighting anti-Semitism in this country and anti-Semitism everywhere where it exists. And he is going to take action. I can't say this enough. I could not accept this award. I cannot be on this stage with the minister if I'm not telling you the truth. And the truth is, America right now, with the right president and Israel, we're fighting this anywhere and everywhere it's at.
קודם כל, אנחנו לא אמונים על תחום ההסברה. אני אומר שאנחנו, משרד התפוצות לא אמון על תחום ההסברה, שחונה בשני משרדים שונים. האחד הוא משרד ראש הממשלה, והשני הוא משרד החוץ. המשרד אכן נרתם, בעיקר בתחילת המלחמה, להוציא משלחות של משפחות של נפגעים מהנובה, משפחות חטופים, וניצל פלטפורמות שהיו ברשותו להעברה מהירה יותר של תקציבים, מה שנקרא קונצרט באותה תקופה, והיום תחת השם של מכבי, זה פשוט עבר בעלות, לארגוני חברה אזרחית, הרבה מאוד חמ"לים, חברות הייטק שונות שרצו לקדם או קמפיינים להעלאת מודעות לחטופים או לדברים מהסוג הזה, או דברים בתחום ההסברה. היו אין ספור יוזמות, והרבה מאוד מאותם חמ"לים אזרחיים שסו קולד החליפו את המדינה, קיבלו תקציבים מאוד מאוד נדיבים מהמדינה. לנו לא היה שום אינטרס מיוחד לשים את הלוגוים שלנו על כל הפעילות הזאת. מדובר בהרבה מאוד פעילות, חלקה מוכרת יותר, חלקה פחות, וזה גם יחידים, וזה גם ארגונים, זה גם חברות פרסום, זה גם חברות הייטק, זה רק לנישה ששאלת בתחום ההסברה, וכל זה נעשה נוסף על תפקיד. זה לא חונה במנדט שלנו, אין לנו צוותי דוברות, ואין לנו אחריות מיניסטריאלית לתחום הזה של ההסברה. כן. כן.
representatives of 14 countries only. I'm asking whether all the other countries were invited to participate in this.
Yeah. We invited many leaders from all across the world, and we have here a wide variety from Europe, from Latin America, from the US, and we are very happy with the audience that we have, which is extremely respectful, and also I think we are very proud in everyone who attend. We were together in the Knesset. We have delegations from Spain, we have delegation from Brazil, we have delegation from Portugal, from France, from all across Europe. So I think, I don't understand your question, so הלאה. ידידי, הלאה, דלג, כן. כן.
Why did you invite the Swedish Democrats from Sweden and not the sitting Prime Minister? What else have you done?
We invited many people from ECR, from EPP. We invited many players. There's no specific reason why this, why not this. Od, Ken.
What do you say to students in the U.S. and across the world continue to feel unsafe on their campus? And how do you feel that Title VI should
Can you repeat your question? I think you asked me about Title VI. I got that.
And also, what do you say to Jewish students in the U.S. but also across the world who continue to feel unsafe?
Any Jewish student facing any type of problem involving harassment on the college campus, harassment anywhere, should contact my office, should contact and I've said this over and over again. I have a very active social media account, if you know, on X. I blast everything about fighting anti-Semitism. But I want you to understand one thing. These universities react to taking their money away. Title VI is a powerful, powerful weapon, and Title VI, for those who don't know, is where the federal government gives money to these universities. And that money can be taken away if they practice discriminatory conduct. So what I'm saying to you, there's a lot of room for improvement, but what I'm saying is all these universities and colleges are on notice that this administration, yours truly, would jump on these universities by taking away their funding, by restricting their access to this funding if they were to create havoc or problems for Jewish students. It's been quiet, but I don't honestly believe that these schools have learned their lesson yet. But Title VI is our weapon, one of our weapons.
Thank you so much. You've mentioned, as you said, the really concrete steps you've taken to fighting some of the anti-Semitism on the left, such as these deportations and the defunding of schools. When the gentleman asked before what is being done to fight anti-Semitism on the right, can we please have some concrete examples of what the Trump administration has done, particularly in combating right-wing anti-Semitism?
Let me answer your question, which I answered it, but I'm going to answer it again. You're asking me, what has the Trump administration done to combat right-wing anti-Semitism? I heard that. Okay, and as a lawyer, I'll explain it to you. There is left-wing anti-Semitism and right-wing anti-Semitism. Agreed? And they're trying to deny Jewish Americans access. What I'm trying to tell you, regardless if it's right or left, regardless, it has not stopped President Trump, and it hasn't stopped me. The right-wing haters have not stopped me at all. It doesn't make a difference if they're right or left. I'm still suing them. I'm still filing hate crime charges. I'm still doing that. Trump is still taking money away. Harvard is trying to settle. So listen, if the noise is coming from the right or the left, the question is it impacting President Trump? Is it impacting Pam Bondi? We are the administration that filed hate crime charges against individuals and murder charges. For example, those 2 Israeli staffers who were murdered. We filed hate crime charges, murder charges. We're not influenced by the right or left. You're assuming that because it's coming from the right, we're not doing anything. What have they done to stop us? Hasn't stopped me from doing anything. Hasn't stopped President Trump. Hasn't stopped Pam Bondi. Tell me where a right-winger has put so much pressure on me, President Trump, or Pam Bondi. So, we're not going to do that. We heard it from the right. No, sorry, not happening. And let's face it, in our country, our great country, we believe in freedom of speech. They can yak all they want, but they have not impacted our policies. And that's what I'm trying to point out.
Last question.
Hi, Linoy from GLZ Radio. We have seen the very violent and also pro-Hamas, pro-Palestinian protests. Do you think that the next step should be eliminate them or forbid them at all?
Eliminate pro-Hamas or pro-Palestinian protests? Well, let me answer that. Very simple. First of all, in my opinion, I'm selfish. I believe in the greatest country. I live in the greatest country in the world. We have freedom of speech. We allow in our country hate speech, ugly speech. Okay? The previous administration looked the other way when that hate speech was combined with criminal conduct, vandalism, damaging, targeting Jews. Speaking is speech without illegal conduct. I don't care if someone yells, "I hate Jews" all day and night, but when you cross that line and you attack Jewish students or you denied access, I'm going to put you in jail. I'm telling you that right now, I'm going to put you in jail. So if you're telling me, do I support limiting someone's right to hate? No. That First Amendment Constitution gives people the right to say ugly things. And I will protect their right to say ugly things. But if they cross that line and impede upon a Jewish family from going to their synagogue, I'm going to file a FACE Act suit against them. If they stop Jewish kids from going to school, I'm going to sue that school if the school doesn't take action. So let them talk, let them yak. Doesn't bother me at all. Commit a crime, treat Jews differently, I'll be there.
Just one last question, very different news. Possibly the biggest anti-Semite in the world right now is Iran's Ayatollah Khamenei. What do you think President Trump will do next when it comes to
You can take it. I will simply say this. I will never get ahead of the greatest president of all time. The president will take the appropriate action. I support my commander-in-chief, but what he should do, the president will do the right thing. That's my response to that question.
תודה רבה לכולם. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.